Thank you. Okay, so we'll be syncing up today. And just a couple of small things. First of all, after class today is the Darcy lecture down in 110. So I suggest you check it out if you're interested in groundwater recharge, if you haven't seen the emails from Larry, etc. I did some work on the code spaces. So if you have created one, what I would suggest is either we will talk about how to update it, or you can create a new one that will get all the latest changes. And the reason that I want to make sure that you have the code spaces updated completely is so that you can do your first homework, which has now been posted. And I'll show you that in a second. I also know that I have to update the lecture recordings in the course repo, but those will be done today. It just sometimes takes a little bit for me to get them on YouTube and stuff. The other thing that I wanted to mention is for homeworks, like this is a 600 level class. I'm providing you homework assignments. If there's ever a homework assignment where you have like an alternate idea for what you want to do, that sort of demonstrates the idea or the sort of core concepts, please let me know, especially if it's something related to your research. If you're like, you know, here, I'll show you the homework, but if you have other ideas for what you want to do sort of related to computer architecture and parallel computing, please let me know. I'm open to, you know, various proposals. This is, you know, I don't think that always my questions are going to be the ones most relevant to you. So please let me know if you have other ideas for yourself. So again, I'll leave this up for now by pausing the screen here, and I'm going to check on if I have fixed my own stuff. Okay, it looks like my code space might be looking better today. Yes, it is. So yeah, please try and get yourself set up. Who has successfully created a code space and been able to actually run things using the environment I set up? Apparently I'm like the only person who's struggling to do this. Okay, so please go ahead and try to do that. So this again will take a little bit of time. Where am I? So I'll resume. So I went to this upper link. You should be able to find this in the slides from some of the other previous lectures. So going there, and then again, what you can do is hopefully hit code spaces and create a new one. Mine did in fact open up, and let me make sure I can. So maybe delete this one. Go to the three dots. Okay. Oh, I'm up there, and then how about these today the same day? And then machine type. Oh, perfect. Then you have the one. So I download it. I actually don't know how that works. I don't know how that works. I think I just kept it as it was right now. Because we're gonna reconstruct it. Yeah. Okay, one thing that you may notice, and I'll make this bigger. We'll get rid of it. Or you can push. One of the things that you might run into an issue with is either when you select the kernel from right here with a Jupyter notebook, it might just hang like I've got, or it might not give you the correct one. And what probably is going to be the case is, again, you have to go over to the extensions tab which is this one here, and find I have to scroll through all of mine that get auto installed. You may have to update or reinstall the Jupyter extension. So I updated it there. I'm actually just going to uninstall and reinstall it too. This may be something you have to do. Jupyter kernels. So I'll uninstall, reinstall, and then hit the reload window and hope that that does it for me.
How can I put the terminal? Yeah. I think
Because are we gonna walk through reinstalling everything or installing everything up to today?
That's kind of what we're
Okay. I'm gonna delete the one.
Yeah.
It doesn't work, so I'm just gonna delete.
Yeah, delete it and start over, hopefully.
If it's working, just leave it be right now.
Yes.
All right.
If it is working, and I'll ask for debugging stuff in a second. If it is working and you would like to look at your first homework, it should now be in assignments, assignment 01. If you don't have that, you may have to pull in changes. You can do that either by doing a git pull from the command line, or there's this source control where you can come in and hit on changes, this little pull button, and that will pull in the changes. Otherwise, you can always view the assignments from the web. So from again, the course repo, it's in assignments and assignment 01. So I have it tentatively set for a due date of next Friday. I think that's pretty reasonable. It's one small writing assignment, one small problem, one small data analysis, a computation, and then two sort of computational algorithmic questions. So if your stuff is working, please go ahead and look at this and start to work on it, or think about what you'd like to do. But in the meantime, let's get everyone else up and running. Okay. So I'm just gonna probably just run around the room and break into the one is yours. Perfect. No. Yeah. Yeah, that's
literally from last class.
that seems to be a lot of what
Like I was literally the only one not to have anything of it. Yeah, no. It just stops. But now I have
yeah, I know. I didn't have those libraries. Then I bought those libraries.
It's like
No, I am working on.
yeah,
The work I didn't have all the libraries, so I had to download all the libraries.
Okay, so some of you may be experiencing, and I guess now I'm seeing what the problem is. This changed, I guess. This is constantly an issue, is people in the changing software things. So I'm in the creation log for the code space, and I guess what's happening is one of the NVIDIA packages is currently down to install. Like it's not network accessible, so that's currently killing everything. So what you can try to do, and this is something that I actually do suggest if you're open to it, is creating a terminal session. So again, that's this little terminal guy, or you can hit control little tilde thing under your escape key. And this is on codespaces, it's always going to be running on a Linux system, so CD and LS rather than like dir. I don't remember the Windows command to change directories, but LS is going to give you listings, so you can CD to your computational methods course, and then you can, what you can always do, and this is activating a virtual environment. The virtual environment that I've hopefully created, I actually don't know if given it failed to install. So what source is a command that will sort of just look at a file and add it to your current sort of, I don't want to overload the word environment, but your command line sort of status, I guess. So what we're going to do is go in .venv is where your virtual environment lives. And then bin is for binaries. Those are like programs. Those are like executables. And activate is the program that will activate the environment. And then you'll see up at the very top of your prompt there, it will change to computational methods course. And then ideally, you can just type UV sync. And let's see.
Well, we did that. We had one space.
You ran out of space.
Then we changed it to a 10. Now it looks like.
So, for those of you who are running into issues with the environments, oh yeah. I wonder if we'll be able to.
We use all PyTorch version. Yeah.
Okay, the main problem is that these NVIDIA packages for the GPU stuff are very large. Normally this should be very fast and should go from like 0 to whatever very quickly, but we're stuck on these NVIDIA things. So okay, cool. I'll see if I can downgrade that. You created, let's say you created a fork.
I have 100.
You have to what?
Fork the repo,
If you fork the repo, you're going to have to keep pulling in changes on your own. You can if you know what that means.
Yeah, but so one of the main repo that they're going to the homework, so it's like cloud or
Yeah.
Basically, you either clone it or
Yep.
maybe cloning.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions.
If you want to keep it open, you can put it there, and that way it will always.
I think it might be easier if I create a new organization for the class, like I have done in the past, and then
It was just because it basically gives you more work.
Maybe clone it on board process.
Yeah. That would work as well.
So it's not that it doesn't exist anymore, it's just that like, if I close it chat, it's just on the side. So you can go like
30 years. 30 years right now.
At the clone.
Oh, you just create an environment on your computer and then save it.
Yeah, that's what you did.
This is your
You install the requirements, although I don't know where I just installed these two.
Oh. Was it UV?
I don't know, I forgot to actually create that.
Okay, welcome.
You could install our
This is the
requirements.
one that you just.
Once you, if you are successfully able to get everything installed, I suggest you run this UV cache clean command next. That will delete all of the stuff that you don't need anymore. It creates a bunch of like junk in there while it downloads and installs things. I'm not going to run that yet. I'll leave it up just at the bottom here. That you can run. So were you able to see here?
Computational methods for data entry.
Yeah.
But you were able to get the kernel.
So the way that I did, I did this completely. Works. Basically, what I did.
It's not in
was, originally, I was in the environment for it. So I basically said, hey, codespaces, just make a new environment in the workspace. And then I took the one that was in here, and just copied it. And then I just, there were some files that didn't copy correctly, and I just installed those packages specifically. And it was now working.
Yeah, we didn't manage, we went to the.
That's why we did this.
We defined the location like that.
But I already did that.
So you have a space left on the device. Can you try that? Cache clean first. Not here.
It's not a big.
Yeah, but what's wrong?
Because when it's the environment.
You want to install it? I mean, for reference.
No, you want to
Like
install
actually
like
saying
that.
this. So that's the, yeah, this is, it's not on the laptop. This is in the cloud.
Oh, that's for deploying.
So it's not you.
Oh, okay,
It's not you. See, like mine was 7.5.
Yeah, if you do this, you would want
I didn't
to.
install it.
Yeah. But you need to know, right?
Okay, now it's.
So now try running that.
Yeah, sorry.
So the UV setting.
These are not the instructions for setting up.
There we are. Yeah, let's just do it. Got it stored. Not yet. And then you have to do the cache.
So what you want to do is also go to Astral, get the UV.
Oh,
installed.
it basically just not enough space and it's. Hanging on something.
UV is like way to manage fine. We had calm down.
Yeah, so basically the cloud space is freezing out that, oh my god, I'm out of space, or thinks it's out of space. So what we would have to do is we have to clear the cache so that we free up space. And now we're syncing it again, and we're gonna clear it back out again so that we.
I feel like more,
So it doesn't
Honda
do-
was, is on the way out. I would say. Yeah.
This error.
Then what was Pip? Pip is, yeah, Pip is like the Python specific one, but it has no good tools for
Define that.
managing like interconnections.
Maybe define the path for that.
Oh, so you go to the search
Just-
bar,
you
you
just
write a
use
greater than arrow, and then search
You
bar.
write a lot of things.
Oh, I just use Pip.
There's a search bar at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same.
it really is, it's just the Python install program.
Wait, how do you determine?
You just say pip install this and it will just do it.
If you only have like one environment or like one project, Pip can work pretty well. But and this is why I'm using something else, is because I assume that you all are using Python for something else, and I don't want to break all of your other stuff. So
But if Martha broke all of our other stuff.
Yeah.
It was actually Roz, Roz and Martha. It was the Anaconda Navigator.
yeah.
I downloaded that from the code that you had for the class, and it broke my entire computer, and now I can't use Conda anymore. So I have to use Pip.
Hence why I moved to Miniforge, and that's what I recommended to Martha, is like, and I was like, okay. Oh, sorry.
Jack, if you want to come to office hours at some point.
I did, remember we actually,
Oh,
that was the
okay.
problem, yeah, and then we figured it out, we ended up creating the PIP environment. And then,
Yeah.
I think I should probably move over to PIP. I was having a question, I was wondering if this is up and running correctly.
Yeah.
So I have this, computational methods,
That's beautiful.
okay.
I'm jealous of you.
I know, I hate that shit.
It was funny, because mine was actually the one that wasn't working the other day, and then mine ended up working. And then how
I
is,
have to go to separate environments.
how do, number one, I pull in assignments?
And
So if you
I
go
need
to
to
the
figure out
source control again,
I accidentally pressed the button,
I don't actually know where it is. Can you go to?
do we need the peers? No, this is just all.
That will-
So this is just.
I'll do that.
And then you just yeah, repositories. There you go. So now you should hit that, the next step, 3 dots.
Yeah, let's still run it.
Up one more, 3 dots. And then just do full,
I mean.
Okay.
I hope.
Could you empirically run git
You,
fetch?
you can say yes to that,
Okay,
or no, it doesn't really matter.
okay. And
Now your assignment should be.
so then I go in here and then I should have
I
something
don't think we can choose on that.
called assignments, right? Or would that be in notebooks?
No, it should not be a notebook. It should be just.
What is going on?
Because it should be, yes.
Someone's gonna hack the my repository.
So if you're comfortable with the command line, you can use that. You'll just have to be in, well, computational methods course.
Are you happy?
Oh, okay.
So now, I want to update that. And copy that and make it there. I think you still having copy. We'll make it.
You can, I don't know how to do it with this user interface, but if you go to the Git.
For now, it's
page, yep.
Okay, we have to type it.
And now if you do.
I'm trying to find assignments now.
Pull requests. And then go to
Did it help?
You compare across.
Navi told me, I don't know.
Oh,
And then you tell me.
overall goal.
Didn't the code name?
Overall goal is to reinstall. You see how the environment is there? So you can mention documents.
Wait, when you say you put it
On
on your profile, do you mean your GitHub profile?
Yeah.
Sure.
You forked it.
Yeah, I cloned it. So that if I do something, it doesn't change to your repository.
So they interpret.
Because I didn't see it as a fork there.
Oh, okay. I think I just made a copy of your initial repository.
Okay.
Interpret. Yeah.
Clone it.
Fine.
We should be away.
You can run it locally if you're trying to, is that what the question is? And that's, I guess, my question. Because I see.
Yeah, try copying it.
Because you see that because they have created the
Activate
code
Python
from
for
your
you?
repository.
Yeah, so basically, you see right
No,
now, on the
these
right,
are all
there's
blocks.
all code that needs to be installed.
So when you created your clone or your copy, how did you do it?
So you go in and install everything. It looks like it's workspaces, computational.
The first time
methods.
it's been a slow question. Yeah, did you fix it?
Okay.
You cloned it and then you pushed it back. Is that how you did it?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Or find a repository, so I.
Thanks to Navi.
And if you click on this one.
No, you.
Oh, I manually named this.
Okay.
Okay, I think they lost the connection between.
The one that we tried to solve. You couldn't copy to the other.
What do you say?
Not very good.
I know.
Yeah,
You know,
you still
okay,
have
it's
all
not like you're
I
any
always
better.
know.
Not like you're any better.
There's a folder when you clone it.
If you
that says
were, then
doc,
you'd be happy to
No,
do
yeah.
that.
That has all of the history of all the stuff I've
I'm
made.
just fine.
Okay, given these difficulties, I'm gonna suggest we do something else.
Yeah, mine's up with perfectly running, but it can't pull any changes. So.
It's the first.
So.
You went into this.
Yeah, we went
Are you
through.
having this too? Yeah.
And it was so easy. I didn't mind.
Oh, I can't pull. I can't pull it. I just go into here, branch, go up here, and pull.
For some reason.
Me, I was so well.
No.
She's
She's suffering in silence.
But we had, did you?
Okay, so now if I go and check my poll changes, it should have assignments now. But it does not have any.
I mean, the UV sync, the same stuff. It's already 32 gigabyte.
Interpolation. They did this.
I-
Keep explain. You guys remember that at the beginning of last semester?
VS Code.
They ended up coming back. They ended up putting the finite element.
Oh, the
And
pest.
that's what the finite element is. You just have like a spline. And then you just scale the weights to match your full solution. But you just enforce the solution to at the boundary or across the whole domain. So it has to enforce it globally, whereas like finite difference enforces at every single point. But finite difference is more stiff. You can't really be as flexible.
Yes, or yours, or mine's here. Yep.
And there's a.
Oh, there's one.
It's the only difference in the letters.
Yeah, that I use the cubic or the cubic quadratic.
Oh,
line.
you didn't close it.
And basically, so it's a neuron. Instead of training like a neuron for a week,
No.
you have.
Yeah,
cubic spline.
let's do a different way of doing
And
this.
you point it. And it's your neuron and it's also your activation function. And you train it in weights. You train everything on your weights, and so basically you're adding imposing a time structure to it, so you can actually see how it's thinking. Everything like that. Min used it.
We're almost in.
Can.
Hold on.
No, I don't want.
I did it already. And now.
Min was can easy to implement.
Yeah. The main and more.
Home of Arnold.
Create a new environment version. Create a new folder.
But most time,
But it's very annoying.
if you were.
Because I just never then write. We wrote like source dot get to that. Then you have to change the name.
Let's use a clone it,
Or
change the name.
I think for
Clone it and then
I
delete
think
it.
that's one. It's good for us to do.
Okay, I'm going to change how we run this. I was hoping this would be easier, but we're still having some issues, so. Let me.
I made it. They on download it.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new GitHub organization. We'll all work off of that. That way you don't have to manage your own forks and stuff. I have all of your GitHub usernames, so I'll be able to add those.
So are we just
That's
Is it
right.
a
restarting
new
from
one
scratch?
now? It's a new.
There will be. I mean, again, if you have something that works and you know how to use Git and the local environment, you're welcome to do it, but it does not seem to be as stable as I wanted it to be.
Why don't you just call
This is my concentrated
Oh
flow.
my god.
He's recreating a new. You know, the initial boundary condition for like flex at the well and stuff like that. And then define like the radial grid. And then I would define the flux term. So this term here is a flux term. This is divergence of flux, right? Alright. I use cell center to find a difference for the flux term to conserve the boundary. Then eventually just get so many coefficients and just call them like easy things. And then come out with this equation here. Deal with the boundary conditions. This is our flux boundary condition.
Yeah.
And then now this is our whole matrix formula. Again, there's our flux boundary at the beginning, like at the radial domain, at the center, it's the well, right? It's our pumping rate here. And then at the end is our far field head. Yeah, you can do prescribe that.
Yeah.
We enter a time series. It's basically just solve everything.
How did you solve it?
Yeah,
Oh, what did I do for solving approach? I did so this solve tri-diagonal here for this matrix equation, and I used the Thomas algorithm. So manual solving. That's how Bo likes it. So, and then I use an implicit spoiler for the time, just because I can solve it all at once. Because I don't like the explicit because everything always blows up. It takes longer. You know, this is actually creating an observation well. So now on the solution, I'm creating an observation well, and I can like view like the drawdown and then recovery. And so basically, these are my different drawdown and recoveries at different radius R's. And then this is cool. It's almost like a wave that comes through. And then now I'm like, okay, let's store all these drawdowns. So when first normalize everything.
Okay,
And then we have our
Yeah.
oh yeah, the parameters data. Like log K and SY silence.
The new ones,
Target.
have all of them.
Target, and then it's trained on the pumping rate, distance from the well, and then all of our normalized drawdown. So I just created I forgot how many layers MLP. But basically, oh yeah, this is running the ensemble of like 2,000 utilizations. And running like normal from all uniform sampling distributions and stuff like that. Probably could have done log normal for K. And then here's a training vector and the output vector. And my data set. And then yeah, I used the GLU activation. And then so my whole neural network looked like this. 5 layers, and then there's be like 3 hidden layers. And then the loss function and normalize these, and then use the atom grad, whatever.
Okay, here's what I'm going to suggest instead. Given so many of you are having still some issues. I'm going to change 2 things really quickly and then get back to you. But we're going to change ownership and all work under the same umbrella.
Yes, it does a very good job of doing that. Really good job. Storage specific but more evidence and specific you'll need to run it out somewhere. And also this is really the remember that we care about here.
What company? So we can keep adding them, but we have to figure it out.
Resolution.
That's interesting. I got a lower score than she did. Yeah, she got an 80, I got 76. It was so hard. I studied so hard.
That one I'll take.
Okay, here's what I'm going to suggest we do. I've created a new organization rather than having it on my research groups. It's now just under an organization called HWRS 640, and it's still computational methods course. For those of you who are running locally, you can still do all of that. The materials will now be posted from this spot. It's just a change of that URL. I'll make sure to update it on all the slides and stuff. So this will take you to this computational methods course. I will have to add all of you to the organization. So we'll do this on Friday. This will be sort of a secondary thing, and then we'll resume from there. So I'll add you all, and then what you'll do is, instead of working on your own copy, you will hit this little fork button and hit create new fork. You probably won't be able to do this quite yet. And I already reduced the amount of from deleting PyTorch and stuff, and I'll figure that out. I'll figure that out later before we need PyTorch. But then when you do this, make sure when you do fork it, and again, this will be in the recording, keep it on the owner of 640 and then do an underscore and then your GitHub username. And so that's what I'll do here. So you'll see, hit create fork. And now in the HWRS 640 repo, there's a new version with my name. So I'll add you all probably during the Darcy lecture. I'll be in there typing away, but then this should all just work. Cool. I'm going to leave it with that. I'll give you 6 minutes back. Sorry, this has been such a pain. PyTorch is really screwed my life over here. That's okay.
Were we supposed to send our GitHub accounts to you or something? How do you have?
Can you just email me?
Yeah, I will. Okay.
I think I have most of your for everyone who was here last time. But also, I have all of your emails. So
Yeah.